So, with the start of a third season for JLU and a fifth for Justice League overall, the question is, where does it go from here? Lex Luthor escaping naturally. And of course, seeing him do this, naturally, this is comic book stuff that is unrelated to what happens in the real world, where all he would do is just wait until his billions got him out of prison. Because, damn it, we live in a civilized society, thank you. Really, to just try to escape with no plan? You'd have to be crazy.
What? I know. I'm going as fast as I can.
So that answers that. He crashes the van and has to escape on foot, but gets stuck at the end of an alley. The cops have him dead to rights. Rescued by a yoink. He was picked up by the Key, although that guy was acting on orders from Grodd to invite him to join his new group located in a structure that's cloaked in the swamp. All this is an homage to the Legion of Doom from the Super Friends, hence the title, I Am Legion. Well, that's one reason. Another reason is that we discover all of these supervillains inside, a whole legion of them. But after the titles, the Justice League is checking out that wall that Lex disappeared through, with Hawkgirl giving the cops shit for transporting Luthor without letting them know about it.
And yet, here we are.
Okay, Shira. What's done is done.
I bet he's saying that a lot. Look, what's done is done. What's done is the neighborhood that you demolished and expected me to pay for. Oh, come on. You've got billions. It's pocket change to you. Yeah, I have billions because I have a company that's worth billions. It's not all sitting in some savings account just waiting for you to screw something up. Oh, please, you managed to put not one but 2 satellites in orbit. Clearly you've got money. I put 2 satellites in orbit. That's why I don't have any money. As a matter of fact, because you were too busy to help put the second one into orbit, I had to send it up the old-fashioned way. Guess what? 3 factories closed down, and there are now children in third world countries making key fobs 14 hours a day. I didn't realize. I was on a deadline. Oh yes, of course. I'll make sure to tell those 400 families that are all out on the streets that, don't worry, you may have lost your jobs, but at least Clark was able to get his story to the printer so it could go out to people the following day. We all know why you're called the Man of Tomorrow, because when you have news to tell people, it will show up tomorrow. All right, look, pardon me for being distracted. Some of us have to actually work for their money, you know. Oh, I'm sure that's a novel concept beyond your detective skills. You don't work for money, you just break something and take mine. No wonder you're called the Man of Steel. It's just they spelled steel wrong. Brave words from a man who got all of his money through inheritance. Tell me, when Scarecrow's fear gas affects you, do you picture having to get up at 6 a.m. and drive yourself? I don't think you could turn this around on me. Look out, Batman! He's brought your greatest fear! A job application! It's great that you've got a fortress of solitude. It's the perfect place for you to go So the authorities are annoyed that the Justice League is handling all of this sci-fi malarkey, especially when their liaison shows up named King Faraday. That sounds like a superpowered name. I mean, especially at the DC. I mean, Enigma, T.O. Morrow. My cousin has a theory that the Joker's real name is Joseph Kerr, Joe for short. Incidentally, Faraday was the Fed in charge back in Double Date, if he looked familiar to you. They say Luthor didn't seem like a threat. He was just sitting there talking to himself all the time. A broken man. Now he's broken a lot of other men during his escape. Oh, well, you know when you live in a world with supervillains that signing up for that kind of job is volunteering to be a bonus point. As for Luthor, he's listening to Grodd's explanation. He founded this group for supervillains to watch each other's backs doing jobs, since the Justice League makes pulling them off impossible otherwise. In return for 25% of the profit, you always can be sure that you'll have help if you need it. It's kind of like AAA for supervillains. But Lex isn't interested. He says he's out of the game now, and Grodd doesn't seem to believe him. Although he is concerned about the man babbling to himself. And right there, right in front of him. It's not even like it's some little private thing that he doesn't want anyone else to know about. He's perfectly comfortable with just flopping that thing right there on the table. And yeah, I mean, you're used to, when you're dealing with supervillains, to have a little bit of madness mixed in there. It kind of comes with the territory. I mean, for crying out loud, look at the key. Tell me that this is a well-adjusted individual here. No. This person has serious psychological problems, but at least you know where you stand with the guy. It's someone who's sitting around muttering to themselves about how they're going to slit everyone's throats while they're sleeping that makes you, even as a master supervillain, want to make sure you have enough locks on your bedroom door. But if a super genius has gone insane, better to have him on your side than working against you. So he shows that he has a fragment of Brainiac left, and he can give it to Luthor if he pitches in.
Do whatever he asks. My entire program resides in even the smallest part of me.
I could reconstitute you, bring you back to life.
Yes, we could be together again.
It's a good plan. Just leave all the talking to me. He'll sound crazy if you try to explain it. This is the third reason for the title. Luthor has got a demon in his head, even if it is an android.